The world tells us that to age is to become smaller, that the horizons of our physical ability must shrink, that our movements must become more cautious, more limited. We accept the cane, the chair, the shrinking of our world as an inevitable fate. But what if the body is not destined to crumble, but is instead waiting for a different kind of conversation? What if the key to boundless mobility lies not in walking endless miles, but in rediscovering the simple, powerful language the body was designed to speak? Most people will see these as mere exercises, missing the deep intention behind each movement. 99% will skip the final part that explains how to unite them into a single flowing practice. And in doing so, they will be left with disconnected letters, never learning how to form the words that create strength and freedom. Rooted stance. We begin not with a grand gesture, but with the simplest and most profound action of all, standing. This may seem too simple, too fundamental to be considered a move. Yet for many people, the simple act of standing has been forgotten. We stand, but we are not present in our standing. We slump, we lean on one hip, we lock our knees, we are collapsed in on ourselves. Our connection to the earth beneath us is weak, tentative. We are like a tree with shallow roots, easily swayed by the slightest wind. The first practice, the foundation upon which all other strength is built, is to relearn how to stand. It is to cultivate what is known as the rooted stance. This is not a military posture of rigid tension, but one of dynamic, aligned stability. Find a quiet space. Stand with your feet about shoulder width apart, the outer edges of your feet parallel. Now, unlock your knees. This is a critical instruction. Locked knees create a break in the energetic circuit of the body and place immense strain on the joints. The knees should be soft, slightly bent, as if they are shock absorbers ready to receive energy. Now bring your attention to your feet. Feel the entire sole of your foot in contact with the floor. Imagine you have 4 points of contact on each foot: the ball of the foot, the point just behind the pinky toe, and the 2 corners of your heel. Gently press these points into the floor. You are not pushing, but connecting. Feel how this simple action engages the muscles of your legs and stabilizes your base. Now, bring your awareness to your pelvis. Many of us stand with our pelvis tilted forward or backward, creating a curve in the lower back that leads to chronic pain and instability. The practice here is to find neutral. Imagine your pelvis is a bowl of water. You want to tilt it just so that not a single drop spills out the front or the back. This is a subtle movement, a gentle tucking of the tailbone, which lengthens the lower back and engages the deep core muscles. This single adjustment is a profound act of kindness to your spine. It aligns the vertebrae, creating space and relieving pressure. With your base rooted and your pelvis neutral, allow your spine to lengthen upwards. Imagine a golden thread gently pulling the crown of your head towards the sky. Your chin is slightly tucked, lengthening the back of your neck. Your shoulders are relaxed, melting down and away from your ears. Your arms hang loosely at your sides, and you breathe. You stand and you breathe. You feel the energy drawing up from the earth through the soles of your feet, rising through your aligned structure and extending out through the top of your head. In this stance, you are both completely relaxed and powerfully alert. You are grounded, you are stable, you are whole. To practice this for just a few minutes each day is to retrain your entire neuromuscular system. It teaches the body its natural blueprint for stability and strength. It is more valuable than walking for miles in a state of collapse. This stance is the silent architect of enduring mobility. It is the root from which all powerful, graceful movement grows. Spinal wave. From the stillness of the rooted stance, we introduce the first element of dynamic movement. The spine is the central pillar of our physical structure, the river through which our life energy flows. A healthy spine is not a rigid rod. It is a supple, flexible chain, capable of moving with grace and fluidity. Yet for many of us, years of sitting, of stress, and of poor posture have caused this river to become stagnant. The vertebrae become compressed, the surrounding muscles become tight and weak, and the flow of energy is blocked. This leads to stiffness, pain, and a profound loss of youthful vitality. The practice of the spinal wave is designed to gently reawaken the spine, to bring moisture and movement back to each individual joint, and to restore its natural, undulating rhythm. It is a movement that emulates the way a snake moves through grass, or the way a wave travels across the surface of the water. It is a fundamental pattern of life. Begin in your rooted stance, feet firm, knees soft, pelvis neutral. The movement initiates not from the shoulders or the head, but from the very base of the spine, the tailbone. Imagine your tailbone is the tip of a paintbrush. You begin by gently tucking the tailbone under, as if you are trying to scoop forward. This initial movement creates a gentle rounding in your lower back. Allow this rounding to ripple upwards, vertebra by vertebra. The middle back rounds, then the upper back. Your shoulders will naturally roll forward slightly and your chin will drop towards your chest. You are now in a gentle C-shaped curve. There should be no strain, only a feeling of lengthening and release in the entire back body. Pause here for a breath. Feel the space you have created between each vertebra. Now, the movement reverses, again starting from the tailbone. Begin to untuck your tailbone, sending it gently backwards. This creates an arch in your lower back. Allow this arch, this wave of extension, to ripple upwards through your spine. The middle back arches, the chest opens and lifts towards the sky, the shoulders roll back, and finally your head lifts, your gaze following upwards. Be careful not to crunch the back of your neck. The movement is one of lengthening and opening the front of the body. You are now in a gentle reverse C shape. You have completed one full wave. The practice is to flow between these two postures, slowly, deliberately, and in perfect rhythm with your breath. Exhale as you tuck and round forward into the C curve. Inhale as you untuck and arch backward, opening your chest. The movement should be continuous, fluid, and soft. This is not a strenuous exercise. It is a form of deep, internal massage for the spine. With each wave, you are pumping synovial fluid into the small facet joints of the vertebrae, nourishing the cartilage. You are gently stretching the deep muscles and ligaments that support the spine, releasing years of accumulated tension. You are stimulating the nerves that exit the spinal column, improving communication between your brain and the rest of your body. To practice the spinal wave daily is to reclaim the suppleness and fluidity that is your birthright. It is a far more profound investment in your mobility than simply walking, which often does little to decompress and mobilize the individual segments of the spine. This wave is the key to unlocking a free and painless back and keeping the river of your life energy flowing strong. Hip circles. After establishing our connection to the ground and awakening the central channel of the spine, we turn our attention to the great hinges of the body, the hips. The hip joints are the nexus of power and mobility for our lower body. They are designed to be incredibly mobile, capable of moving in multiple planes. Yet, for the vast majority of modern people, they have become prisons of stiffness. Decades of sitting in chairs have caused the muscles surrounding the hips, the flexors, the rotators, the glutes, to become tight, weak, and dormant. This stiffness in the hips is a primary culprit behind low back pain, knee problems, and an unstable, shuffling gait. When the hips cannot move freely, the body is forced to compensate by creating movement in the lower back and knees, areas that are designed for stability, not excessive rotation. This compensation pattern is a recipe for chronic pain and injury. The practice of hip circles is a simple yet profoundly effective way to restore health, freedom, and fluidity to these critical joints. Begin once again in your rooted stance, feet firmly planted, knees soft. You can place your hands on your hips to help guide the movement and feel the articulation of the joints. The practice is exactly as it sounds. You are going to draw a large, slow, deliberate circle with your pelvis. It is important that this movement originates from the hip joints themselves, not from twisting the spine or bending the knees excessively. Imagine you have a laser pointer attached to your navel and you are trying to draw a perfect circle on the wall in front of you. Begin by gently shifting your hips forward, then move them to one side. Continue the circle by shifting them to the back, feeling a gentle stretch in the front of your hips. Finally, bring them to the other side and back to the front to complete the circle. The movement should be as smooth and continuous as possible, like stirring a large pot of thick honey. Perform several circles in one direction, then pause and reverse, drawing circles in the opposite direction. The key here is quality over quantity. The circles should be slow and controlled. You are exploring the full range of motion of your hips. As you move, pay close attention to any areas of stickiness, tension, or restriction. Do not force your way through these areas. Instead, when you encounter a tight spot, you can slow down even more, perhaps even pausing and breathing into that space. This gentle, mindful exploration encourages the muscles to release their chronic holding patterns. It lubricates the ball and socket joint of the hip with synovial fluid, nourishing the cartilage and improving its gliding action. It reawakens the dormant muscles of the glutes and core that are essential for pelvic stability and powerful walking. This simple daily practice does more to preserve the health of your hips, knees, and lower back than thousands of steps taken with stiff, locked-up hips. It is an act of liberation for your entire lower body, restoring the foundation for a strong, balanced, and confident stride. Low squat, the fourth movement, challenges our modern relationship with the ground. In many cultures around the world, the deep squat is a natural resting posture. People of all ages use it for working, for socializing, for eating, for simply being. It is a position that maintains incredible mobility in the hips, knees, and ankles. In the Western world, however, we have outsourced this fundamental human posture to the chair. From a very young age, we are taught to sit on elevated surfaces, and as a result, we lose the ability to access this natural grounding position. This loss is a tragedy for our physical health. It contributes directly to the stiffness in our lower body joints and the weakening of our legs and core. Reclaiming the ability to squat, even in a modified form, is one of the most powerful things a person over 60 can do to maintain their strength, balance, and independence. The goal is not necessarily to perform a perfect, flat-footed, deep squat immediately. The goal is to begin the journey of rediscovering this pattern. We begin with support. Stand in front of a sturdy table, a countertop, or the back of a solid chair. Place your hands on the support for balance. Your feet should be slightly wider than shoulder width apart, with your toes turned out slightly, to a degree that feels natural for your hip structure. Begin in your rooted stance, spine long. Now initiate the movement by sending your hips backward, as if you are about to sit down in a chair that is very far behind you. Keep your chest lifted and your spine long. Allow your knees to bend and track in the same direction as your toes. Use the support of your hands to control the descent. Go down only as far as you can while maintaining a long spine and without any pain in your knees. For some, this may only be a few inches at first. That is perfectly fine. The practice is in the pattern, not the depth. Pause at the bottom of your comfortable range, and then, pressing through your heels, stand back up to the starting position. The focus is on quality. As you descend, feel the engagement of your thigh and glute muscles. As you ascend, feel the power coming from your legs, using your hands only for balance, not for pulling yourself up. The breath is your guide. Inhale as you lower down with control. Exhale as you press back up with power. This movement is a full-body exercise in disguise. It strengthens the entire lower body, the quadriceps, the hamstrings, the glutes, which are the engine for all locomotion. It strengthens the core muscles as they work to stabilize your spine. It improves mobility and circulation in the hips, knees, and ankles simultaneously. As you become stronger and more mobile, you can gradually try to go a little deeper or rely less on the support of your hands. But even a shallow, supported squat, performed daily with mindful intention, is a revolutionary act. It is a declaration that you will not surrender your strength to the chair. It is a way of rebuilding the powerful, functional foundation that will keep you strong, stable, and mobile for decades to come. Cross-body reach. The final movement in our daily sequence addresses a dimension of mobility that is almost entirely neglected by simple walking, rotation. The human body is designed to move and generate power through the transverse plane, the plane of twisting and rotation. Think of throwing a ball, swinging a club, or even just reaching for something on a high shelf. These powerful coordinated movements involve a spiral pattern that connects our feet to our fingertips. However, as we age and become more cautious, we tend to move in a very linear forward and back fashion. We lose the ability to twist with grace and power. This leads to a weak core, a stiff spine, and a loss of balance, making us more susceptible to falls. The cross-body reach is a safe and effective way to reintroduce this vital rotational movement pattern, integrating the entire body into a single, coordinated action. Begin in a wide-rooted stance, feet significantly wider than your shoulders, with a soft bend in your knees. This wide base provides a stable platform for the rotation. Now imagine you are standing in the center of a large clock face. The practice involves reaching from one corner of the room to the opposite corner. Let's begin by reaching from 7 o'clock to 1 o'clock. Start by shifting your weight onto your left leg. As you do this, pivot on the ball of your right foot, allowing your right hip and torso to turn towards the left. At the same time, reach with your right arm across your body and down towards your left foot, as if you are picking something up from the floor at 7 o'clock. Your spine will naturally round and your head will follow your hand. This is the gathering phase. From this low gathered position, you will now expand. Pressing off your left foot, begin to shift your weight back onto your right leg. As you do, unwind your body, pivoting now on the ball of your left foot. The right arm, which was low, now sweeps up and across your body in a great ascending arc, reaching towards 1 o'clock on the opposite side of the room. Your hips, torso, and head all turn to follow the reach. You should feel a powerful opening and lengthening along the entire right side of your body, from your right ankle all the way to your fingertips. This is the reaching phase. The movement is a seamless flow from gathering low to reaching high, from coiling to uncoiling. Perform the movement slowly and with control, coordinating it with your breath. Exhale as you coil down, inhale as you expand and reach up. After several repetitions on one side, return to center and repeat the entire sequence on the other side, reaching from 5 o'clock to 11 o'clock with your left arm. This single movement is a symphony of integration. It improves rotational mobility in the spine, opens the hips, strengthens the deep core muscles, the obliques, and dramatically improves balance by teaching you to shift your weight with control. It connects your upper and lower body, reminding them how to work together as a single powerful unit. This is functional, real-world strength that walking alone can never provide. It is the movement pattern that will allow you to turn and react quickly, to reach for things without losing your balance, and to move through the world with a sense of confident, three-dimensional freedom. Integrated flow. We have now explored 5 distinct movements: the rooted stance, the spinal wave, the hip circles, the low squat, and the cross-body reach. Each one is powerful in its own right, addressing a key aspect of strength and mobility. But their truest power is unleashed when they are no longer seen as separate exercises, but are woven together into a single, continuous, and mindful practice. This is the culmination of the work. It is where the letters we have learned are formed into a beautiful and coherent sentence of movement. This integrated flow becomes a daily ritual, a moving meditation that awakens, strengthens, and harmonizes the entire body. You do not need a large space or any special equipment. All you need is your own presence and the willingness to move with intention. The flow can begin like this. Start in your rooted stance for 5 to 10 deep conscious breaths. Feel your connection to the earth, the length of your spine, the softness in your knees. Establish your foundation. From this stillness, Transition smoothly into the spinal wave. Perform 5 to 8 slow rhythmic waves, exhaling as you round forward, inhaling as you arch back. Feel the energy begin to move up and down your central channel. After your last spinal wave, return to a neutral spine and flow directly into your hip circles. Perform 5 circles in each direction, feeling the release and lubrication in these crucial joints. When you have finished your circles, widen your stance slightly and transition into the low squat. Using support if you need it, perform 5 to 10 slow, controlled squats, inhaling down and exhaling up. Feel the power building in your legs and core. After your final squat, stand up and widen your stance further. From here, you flow into the cross-body reach. Perform 5 reaches on each side, flowing from the low gather to the high expansion. Feel the integration of your entire body, the spiral of energy connecting earth and sky. After your final reach, bring your feet back together, returning to the rooted stance where you began. Stand for another 5 deep breaths, but this time, notice the change. Feel the warmth in your body, the sense of aliveness in your joints, the feeling of energy flowing freely. You have systematically awakened, mobilized, and strengthened your entire structure in just a few minutes. This flow is a conversation, not a workout. Each transition is smooth and unhurried. The entire practice can be completed in 10 to 15 minutes, yet its effects are far more profound and long-lasting than an hour of mindless walking. This daily ritual does more than just keep you physically strong and mobile. It changes your relationship with your body and with the process of aging. It is a daily affirmation that you are not in a state of decay, but in a constant process of renewal. It cultivates a deep inner listening, so you become more attuned to your body's needs. It builds not just physical strength, but a deep sense of self-reliance and confidence. You know that you have the tools within you to maintain your own vitality. This is the true purpose of the practice. It is not about avoiding aging, but about inhabiting the aging process with grace, with power, and with an unwavering sense of freedom. The belief that we must diminish with age is a story, and it is a story that we have the power to rewrite. These movements are not a magic cure, but a language. They are a way of speaking to your body in a way it understands, a way that reminds it of its inherent capacity for strength, balance, and grace. By replacing the habit of mindless walking with the ritual of this mindful flow, you are not just exercising your muscles, you are rekindling a deep and ancient wisdom that resides within your very cells. You are choosing a path of expansion, not contraction. You are choosing to stand tall, to move freely, and to inhabit your life with a vitality that does not recognize the limits of a calendar. Which of these 5 movements does your body feel it is craving the most right now? Listen closely to its first answer.